For those of you who don't know me, my name is Charles McClure. If you've never heard of me and know me only from the wedding website and you're looking for that guy in aviators with a goatee, you found him. So I met Nate through our friend John Amatruda, better known to us as Truda, the summer before my freshman year in high school. And that means that at the ripe old age of 26, I've known Nate for nearly half my life. Some of you might consider this a remarkably long period for a friendship. But when it comes to Nate, it's really a pretty pedestrian period of time. There are a number of people in this room, not related to him, I might add, that have known Nate since they were in diapers together. The stylish socks that you may or may not have noticed the groomsmen wearing this evening are a testament to this fact. Thank you, Nate. Nate and Truda became fast friends on the bus on the first day of kindergarten when they noticed that they were both wearing the same dinosaur socks. Nate is easily one of the brightest, kindest, and most genuine people I know. And while it's rare for one person to collect as many lifelong friends as he has, I'm in no way surprised that he's been able to do it. We've been through a lot together through the years that we've been friends. So when Nate asked me to give this toast, I was thrilled. I thought, that'll be easy. Just jump up, tell a few stories that illustrate how great it is to be friends with Nate, and call it a day. Which stories to tell, though? Given the duration of our friendship, countless stories came to mind. Needless to say, when I considered the polite and civilized company in which I found myself, that list got significantly shorter. There was the night that earned him the nickname Captain Crunch, and led his father to refer to us simply as the idiots for a while. Or maybe the days we spent using cardboard tubes as jousting swords while killing time working together at the Bruce and Johnson's Marina. These are amusing tales, to be sure, but can easily be chalked up to the adventures of being what a friend of mine calls yammocks, and that is a young adult male with an immortality complex. Another option, perhaps the story of our 15 minutes of fame. The summer that Nate graduated from high school and that I finished my freshman year in college, a mutual friend of ours invited me to join him and another friend at a live taping of The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Right? We passed the hours waiting in line to get into the studio by writing the letters J-O-N on 3 white undershirts and Stewart on a 4th. We found out shortly before the show that Will Ferrell would be the guest for that evening's show. Of course, we had to find a way to give Will a shout-out, but having run out of all the available real estate on our shirts, we turned to our next best canvas, which is, of course, our bare chests. And so, we wrote W-I-L-L across our chests, and our antics got us some strange looks from the people with us in line waiting to get into the studio. But they also got us on air as part of John's intro to the show that night. Don't believe me? Maybe you missed it live the first time through. Don't worry, just hop on the Comedy Central website and search Connect the Nipples. On the way home that night, Nate said that it was the greatest night of his life. I've always loved that story, because here's a kid who at that time had finished high school, was an accomplished viola player who broke the 5-minute mile on the 5-minute mile barrier on the track team, and was a national merit scholar. Clearly, I was not. And he was headed off to Yale in the fall. And yet, he thinks the greatest thing he's ever done is flash his bare chest at Will Ferrell on national TV. One of my favorite things about Nate, has always been his ability to enjoy the simple pleasures in life. And so while I'm guessing that tonight may displace one of those nights, may displace that night as the greatest of Nate's life to date. I describe Nate as a laid-back and happy guy, and he's never been more laid-back or happy than he is when he's with Jane. And so while I'm not exactly sure when Nate decided that this day would come, it's been clear to me for years now that it would, and I'm honored to be a part of this celebration. I met Jane for the first time I visited Nate at Yale. From the very beginning, I could see that their relationship was something special, and it was apparent to me very quickly that why these two were so drawn to each other. Jane has the same kind of kind heart, genuine personality, and enthusiasm for life that Nate does. In the years that have passed since that initial meeting, I've watched these two go through the best of times and through the worst of times. And through all of life's tests, they have emerged stronger and more closely bonded. In the past couple of days, I've heard a long list of friends of both Nate and Jane make reference to the so-called nerd camps at which they met. They met the stars of tonight's festivities. So please join me in raising a glass and wishing a long life of happiness and love to the two coolest nerds I know. Cheers, guys.